In this clip, we'll look at share splits and scrip dividends. So what is a share split? Now, as prices increase, which they should do, share prices over time, remember companies are there, the main purpose of the companies are to generate shareholder value, so the share prices should go up over time. If it doesn't, it'll probably drop and delist. So over time, share prices are supposed to go up in the long term. And then what happens if it just keeps on going up? Well, it'll become more and more expensive. So one very good example is Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway. So the share code is BRK:A, so it's the A shares. Now, if you go and look up the share price today, it's roughly 216,000 US dollars per share. So that's roughly, how much is that? 2.8 million rand per share. So if you want to buy one share, you need 2.8 million rand. So obviously, if you want to sell a share, you need someone else willing to buy the share for 2.8 million. Now, the value is irrelevant because a million shares worth R2.80 each, or one share worth 2.8 million rand, same thing. But there's less people out there with 2.8 million rand to buy shares. So the liquidity of the share, or the trading volumes, would be lower. So in order to curb this, companies split their shares. So they feel the share price is a bit high, maybe 1,000 rand per share. So they decide on a 10-for-1 share split. So now everyone owning one share worth 1,000 rand owns 10 shares worth 100 rand each. So the value of their shareholding is still 1,000 rand. So a share split doesn't change the value, it just makes the share cheaper. Not cheap in terms of value, but just cheap in terms of price. So if you look at Apple's share, that has been split a few times. So a couple of years ago, it was like $700 per share, and then they split it. So I think currently it's around 100 or something. Coca-Cola does the same, McDonald's, and there's lots of shares that companies that split the share prices. So if a company split the share and now it's down to 50 rand per share, it's a lot. Anyone can buy a share for 50 rand. It's not that expensive. So even Warren Buffett's company that has a 2.8 million rand price per share, they could split it a million to one, and then that's R2.80 per share. But each one share would then split into a million shares. It's unlikely, but it's possible. So why do companies split their shares? First of all, obviously to raise the liquidity, to make it look cheaper, but also to send out a signal. So if they anticipate more price increases in future, they could say, well, we're going to split the share to make it more liquid and cheaper, and in the hope of people buying the share because it's going to go up in future. Then a scrip dividend. So lots of companies do this as well. Instead of paying a cash dividend, they give out shares as dividends. So investors may have the choice, or the company may decide just to give a scrip dividend. This allows the company to retain the cash for future investments. So usually what happens, the shareholders get the announcement of the declaration of the dividend, and then they get the choice. Either they take the cash dividend, or they decide to take the shares instead. So if they take the shares, basically what the company does is they take, instead of paying out the cash, they give out shares. So it's the same as reinvesting the dividends without the transaction costs. And this was very, very popular when STC were announced, and declined then when capital gains tax were introduced. Okay, then also the decline in the popularity of scrip dividends decreased when share buybacks became more popular. Share buybacks will be the topic of the next video.